Okay, I want to show you how to make a faux entrelac wash rag. And what I am doing is I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use a white and I'm going to use a green color here. And it's basically whatever I have left over from my scrubby yarns that I've been using. And what I have here is a 3/8 inch gauge 25 peg loom. Okay, but I'm not using 25. I'm going to use 24 pegs. And I'm going to divide it by 6. Okay, so I'm going to count over 6. I'm going to put a stitch marker. Then I'm going to start on the next peg, count over 6, put a stitch marker, start on the next peg, count over 6, put a stitch marker. Then I'm going to count over 3 and put a stitch marker. Then start on the next peg, count over 6, and put a stitch marker. Start on the next peg, count over 6, put a stitch marker. Start on the next peg, count over 6, use a stitch marker. Okay. We are going to do this in such a way where we don't have to do rib stitching. Somehow, with the way that this technique works with the faux entrelac wash rag, it doesn't tend to curl. It lays flat, even though most of it's knit. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to work from the center out. But the thing is we need to do a half diamond first. Alright? So what we want to do is we want to slip that first one. We want to knit over 4. Okay? Because it's an even number we're working with. Alright. Now that would be typically where your center point would start going out. But because we need to do just the top down, we're also going to knit over one more. Okay. We're going to wrap and turn the next peg. Okay, so you're going to take it behind, wrap and turn the next peg. Then you're going to toss over and go to almost the end. And you're going to wrap and turn that end peg right there. Then you're going to knit your way over to just before your last wrap and turn. Okay, so there's your last wrap and turn. So you're going to take it from behind and in front of the peg. Then you're going to knit over to just before your last wrap and turn. So there's your last wrap and turn. You're going to wrap and turn the next peg. Then you're going to knit one, wrap and turn, wrap and turn. Alright? So I'll do that again. You're going to knit that one going back. Then you're going to wrap and turn, and then you're going to go from the back of the peg to the front of the peg and wrap and turn. So you should have 6 pegs wrapped and turned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now I'm trying to keep this in range. Long looms give me more trouble in filming. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to knit the 2 stitches over to get to your starting point to do the next half diamond. So you want to knit 2 stitches over on those 3. Okay. So there's one. And I usually toss one loop over at a time. Okay. And one more. Alright. So that's your first half diamond, and it's going to the top point. You'll end up doing a reverse when you get to your other end, okay? So now what you want to do is you want to flatten it over, or U-knit. I find U-knit's going to be a little easier because this yarn doesn't have give to it. Over 5. So you're going to knit over 5, and then you're going to wrap and turn peg 6. And you're going to keep that in mind. I'm going to show you this one more time. Alright. So you know your starting point is here on your next one because you see your stitch marker from there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Make sure that's right. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I have one offset a little for some reason. Weird. Let me recount my pegs. Okay, there's 25. That's 6. Which that much should be over there. And then... It's like I'm off somehow. Anyway. When you get over to here, what you want to do is you want to make sure you're counting over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to wrap and turn peg 6. And then you're going to knit your way over to just before your last stitch marker. So there's your stitch marker. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap and turn, which should be your first peg of the set. And then you're going to knit your way over to just before the last wrap and turn. Okay. There's just before your last wrap and turn. You're going to wrap and turn peg 5. Alright. Then you're going to wrap and turn peg 2. You're looking at 6 pegs. Knit that one, wrap and turn, wrap and turn. And then you want to get yourself reset. So you're going to knit 2 over. To your next marker. And I've got to figure out what is going on here. Okay. Because for some reason it's off. Because it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to move this over 1 to correct it. I don't know how it got off that much. So we're going to move it over. Okay. This marker is supposed to signify the end of a 6 peg. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means we'll need to move this one over by 1 as well. And then we'll need to move these stitch markers here over. I don't think this one needs to be moved. I think just the 2 over. I think it's only 1 at this point that needs to be moved. So. Because we have 3rd from the end, I think. No, you'll have to move this one. Just to make sure. Okay. I don't know how that got messed up. Okay. But it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gold. 4, 5, 6, gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the end. Then it should be 1, 2, 3 marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marker. 4, 5, 6 marker, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're back to where we should be. Alright, so what you want to do now is you want to do another half diamond. Okay, so you're going to knit over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wrap and turn peg 6, which should be your stitch marker peg. And then you're going to knit over 4. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to wrap and turn your first peg of that set. And now you're going to knit 3, 2, 3, wrap and turn. You're going to knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, then wrap and turn, wrap and turn. Alright. Now you're going to complete your last one. So you're going to go in to go complete your last one. So you're going to knit 2 over, knit 2 together, like this. Okay. And then you'll be ready to start your last half diamond. That's more like a pyramid because it's facing up. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to knit over 5. I'm going to show you this. And then I'm going to show you how to add color. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Then you're going to wrap and turn that last peg. And then you're going to knit over 5. Okay. Then you're going to wrap and turn, and you're going to knit over 3, wrap and turn, knit over 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, then you're going to wrap and turn, and you're going to wrap and turn, and then you're going to knit 2 together to the end, and this completes your first row. Okay. Now, we don't want to add our new color just yet. Okay, we've reached our end. We should have 4 little groups here, you'll see. And when you pull it out, when you have more done and you pull it out, you'll see the half diamond. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to slip the first stitch, and we're going to purl our way back. And what we want to do is we want to, again, we're going to skip that first one, and we're going to purl our way back. And if it's got 2 stitches, purl the 2 together. Alright, so there's 2. We're going to purl those 2 together. Take it off, purl those 2 together. Take it off, purl those 2 together. For some reason the stitch came off. Okay. And then you're going to purl single. Okay. And we're fixing to change colors, but we're not going to cut this yarn, okay? I don't like cutting yarn. And we're working the Faux Entrelac flat, so it's going to be a little bit more technical. You're going to have a lot of half diamonds showing up, particularly when you're touching the white. Alright. And when you reach the last one, make sure that you knit those 2 together rather than purl them together. Okay. And the reason being is we want to try to keep kind of a chain at the end, so that if you want to do a little crochet edge, you can. That's white, which gives you that option. Okay, I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just going to do a half knot, pull it to the base, and then just do another half knot. Okay, now I'm going to switch up. Okay, I'm going to switch to my white color. I want to make sure that I don't have this messed up like that. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do a half diamond like this, alright, and it's not going to take much. So what we want to do is we want to kind of start center. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to wrap and turn that next peg, and then you're going to knit that end peg. Okay, then you're going to knit those two stitches together. You're going to wrap and turn the next peg, and then you're going to knit two. Okay, then you're going to slip that one, and then you're going to wrap and turn, and you're going to knit. Alright, then you're going to knit two together, knit, oops, try not to get your stitch marker, knit two together. And that should kind of give you like a little half diamond. Alright, so now we're going to go in and do a full diamond. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit over 4. So there's 3 and 4. Wrap and turn, knit 2. Wrap and turn, knit 2. Knit 2 together. Wrap and turn, knit 3. Knit 2 together. Then you're going to wrap and turn. Then you're going to knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, wrap and turn, wrap and turn. Okay, then you're going to knit 2 together 3 times. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now you're going to go in and you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to knit over 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrap and turn, knit 2, 1, 2. Wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together. Wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, wrap and turn, wrap and turn. Then knit 2 together 3 times, so there's 1, and there's 2, and try not to get my stitch marker, and there's 3. Okay, should be able to start kind of pulling out on this some. Alright, now you're going to knit over 4 at this point, so 1, 2, 3, 4, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, wrap and turn, then you knit 2 together 3 times. Sorry, it's 2 in the morning. This is when I film. This is when it's quiet in the house. 6 people. Okay, and again, you should start being able to kind of pull it out and see what you've got. Okay, to finish your last half, you're going to knit to the end. Then you're going to slip, wrap and turn, knit, then slip, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 2, then wrap and turn, knit 1, and you'll have completed that. Now, you want to purl your way back like you did, and this resets you, and then we'll need to pick up our other color. Okay, we're going to go back to our green. So we're going to start off and we're going to slip the end, and we're just going to purl our way back. And don't forget, when you get to that last peg over there, make sure you always knit it, okay? So that we have a nice pretty chain we can look from if we want to add a nice crochet edge or something. Okay, which I find is a little hard to see with this yarn, but you still can do it if you have a good sight for it, alright? Okay, we've got to our last peg, and remember, we're going to knit it. Alright. Now, we're going to pick up our green again. Okay, and we're going to move this white out of the way. Now, we're going to pick up our green. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to slip. So we're going to skip that first peg, and we're going to knit over 3 on that end one. Then we're going to wrap and turn, and we're going to knit 2. We're going to wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together. And what I want to do is go in and kind of capture that gap there that you see. You'll see that gap. I'm going to pull it up over here. Alright. And I'm going to wrap and turn. Then I'm going to knit 3. Knit 3. Wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, wrap and turn, then knit 2 together 3 times. Now I'm going to tell you that we're actually on a repeat section that you go over and over again. Okay, so what we did with the white and what we're doing with the green right now is your repeat over and over again. Alright, now knit in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, and then you're going to knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 3, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 1, then you're going to wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2 together 3 times to finish your diamond. Okay, and you can kind of pull it out some, and you're starting to see what it's going to look like. You're starting to see that diamonding show up. Okay, so you can kind of see where that's starting to show up. Alright, so let's do our next 2 diamonds, and then I'll purl back, and I'm going to tell you to go off and do your own thing. Alright, so here is knit over 4, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2, wrap and turn, you're going to knit 2, and then you're going to knit 2 together, you're going to wrap and turn, and you're going to knit 3, and knit 2 together, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 3, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2 together 3 times, and here's 3, and then we're going to do one last diamond. Again, you can start to kind of pull out and see what it's looking like. Alright, let's do one more diamond, and then we'll purl our way back. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 1, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2 together 3 times, 2 and 3. Okay. Now, you can kind of get an idea. You're already seeing that. You're already seeing the diamonding. So what you're going to do is you're going to head back, you slip that first stitch, you're going to purl everything together. So you're going to purl the singles, and if you got 2 stitches, you're going to purl the 2 together, and then when you get to that last peg over here, you want to make sure that you knit it rather than purl it. Okay, now when I get to the end, what I'm going to tell you to do is repeat the white section and this section we just did over and over until you get a length that you think you like, and make sure that you're going to be finishing off with the color you started with, which will be your green. And I will show you how to do a half diamond the other direction so that you can finish it off and still get a perfect little square. Okay. Okay. And remember to just knit everything over on the end here. Okay, you're back to reset. Alright. Now, what you want to do is you just want to pick up your white, and then you just start off with exactly like you did with doing the white here. Okay, so it's going to be a repeat over and over, starting with the white section, then coming to this green section we just did, and you're going to repeat back and forth over and over until you get the size wash rack you want. Make sure you have enough to where you can do the other half diamond to finish up so that you get a nice perfect square, okay? So go ahead and pause the video and continue with your wash rack, and when you're done we'll come back and I'll show you how to finish up, and that will pretty much cover our basis on how to make a faux entrelac wash rack. Okay, I'm going to show you how to finish this up. We're going to do the other half diamond to finish, and you'll see we've gotten this much. It was about 5.5 inches, and we wanted 5.5 inches the other direction, and this last diamonding should finish the half inch, and it's going to be a half diamond, and you're going to end up doing a instead of a decrease down, you're going to do an increase out. So what you want to do is pick up your green, and you want to work the first 6, and again we're going to increase our way out. So what you want to do is you want to skip that first peg, and you want to knit in 3. And I'm actually working with a new camera, so bear with me here. So you're going to knit in 3, wrap and turn, then you're going to knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, then you're going to knit 2 together, wrap and turn, and knit 3, knit 2 together, and then wrap and turn and knit 4. And this completes a half diamond. Now we're going to work over to the next 6 pegs right here, and remember we're increasing out, so you're going to knit over 4. And 4. Then you're going to wrap and turn the next peg, and then you're going to knit 2. Wrap and turn the next peg, knit 2, and then knit 2 together. And then wrap and turn, and then knit 3, and there's 3, and then you're going to knit 2 together, wrap and turn, and then knit 4, and then knit 2 together, and that completes another half diamond to finish off. Alright, so we're going to work on the next 6, and you know you knit over 4, and then wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, and then knit 2 together, wrap and turn. So you continue what we just did on that last half diamond for the rest of the pegs. Knit that one and then knit that last one two together. Alright, now we're going to go in and we're going to want to go ahead and bind off, but there is your wash rag. And so what you want to do is you want to slip that first peg, knit the second one, pull that second stitch back to peg 1, toss the bottom loop over and move that stitch over to peg 2. You are now peg 1. And then what you're going to do is knit the next peg, move it over to peg 1, toss the bottom loop over and move that stitch to peg 2, which now becomes peg 1. And you repeat this over and over, and when you get to the 2 stitches, instead of doing just the 1 stitch, you want to knit those 2 stitches together, and I will show you that. There's your 2 stitches. So what you want to do is knit both the stitches together and then move that back one, toss the bottom loop over. So go ahead and bind off, and we will go from there and do our border. Okay, we've completed our wash rag, and what we want to do now is put a stitch marker in all the stitches on the end, your cast on and your bind off, and the reason being is those are hard to see, so you want to make sure that you put in stitch markers. If you have enough, you can do the sides as well if you're having a hard time seeing those, but you want to make sure that you have at least 25, make sure you have 25 stitch markers on the bind off and cast on. And so we're going to basically do a 10 stitch edge, and if you've done a 10 stitch blanket before, this should not be difficult to achieve. The only problem is that the scrubby yarn is a little more difficult to see. If you're not using a scrubby and you're using a cotton, it'll be really easy to see, and you shouldn't need to put in all these stitch markers. So the stitch markers will really help go in and show you where your next one is. So if you are making it, you can start off, putting in stitch markers if that would make you feel more comfortable. Okay, I'm going to do a chain cast on of 10 pegs. And that way it'll be easier to see where you want to sew up when you have a chain cast on like this when you finish the border. Okay. Okay, we finished our chain cast on of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. And now we want to slip that first stitch and just knit our way back. Okay, and now what we want to do is find our very corner edge, which may look like it curves up a bit, but make sure you find it. And then what you want to do is place it on the loom. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just toss that bottom loop over to kind of get me started on that spot. Now what I want to do is purl my way over and stop just before the last peg. Because what I'm going to start off doing is decrease to do a very corner zone. And then you wrap and turn and knit your way back. Now you're going to start purling your way over, and you're going to wrap and turn the next peg in front of the last wrap and turn you just did. And you're going to do this all the way down, and you should have 9 wrap and turn pegs when you are done decreasing. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and complete your decreasing, and we will go from there. Okay, we're going to wrap and turn that last peg and knit. Alright, you should have 9 wrap and turns, and what you want to do now is you want to purl your first wrap and turn, then you want to knit the stitch you just finished with and knit your way back. Slip that first stitch, purl the 2 together, then you're going to knit your way back starting with the peg you just finished, so you're going to knit 3. Now I'm not going to go real slow with this because there's plenty of examples on how to do this. So you're going to knit your way over, you're going to purl your way over, and then you're going to purl 2 together when you get to your next wrap and turn. Stop there, start with the peg you just finished with, and knit your way back, and you're going to add in all your wraps and turns, and you will have created a corner. Again, if you've done 10 stitch blanket, you've done this before. This shouldn't be too foreign of a subject for you. If not, I would suggest that you go in and you get an idea of watching a video on how to do the 10 stitch, and this should not be a troublesome thing. This is a great way to add a border to a project already, but what you want to do is you want to go in and get all those wraps and turns added back in one row at a time. Okay, just go ahead and pause the video and get that much done. Okay, I'm going to show you how to after we did the decrease and increase, the very next row to go and do, and then you'll repeat the decrease and increase again, and then go up the side. So I'm going to show you what that next row is going to look like. So what you want to do is you want to find your next stitch to put on to that end peg there, and then I like to take that stitch marker off, and then we're going to purl our way over. You're going to slip that first stitch and you're going to purl your way over. And then you're going to purl those 2 stitches together so that you don't have a ridge show up. If you knit those 2 stitches together, you'll have a ridge. Okay, then you're going to slip that first stitch and you're going to knit your way back. And you repeat this over and over again. I'll show you one more time. You find your next stitch marker, place that onto the loom, take that stitch marker out, and then you purl your way over. And then you're going to purl those two stitches together. Then you're going to slip that first stitch and knit your way back over. You repeat these 2 rows over and over and over again until you reach your corner. Okay. Okay. And you just repeat it over and over and over again until you reach your corner, which will be over here. Okay. Then you're going to do what you did at the very beginning when starting this section here. You're going to decrease, then you're going to increase. Alright? And you're going to do that at the corners. So there's your first decrease and increase. Then you do this 2 row set all the way over. Then you do a decrease, increase. Then you do that 2 row set I just showed you all the way over. Decrease, increase. And then do the repeat of the 2 row repeat all the way over. Increase, decrease. And then do your 2 row repeat all the way down. And then you'll be ready to attach your chain cast on and sew up the edge together, and that'll complete this wash rag. So it'll have the faux entrelac with a frame around it. Alright, so pause the video and get your edging done, and then I'll show you how to finish it up, and you'll about completed this faux entrelac wash rag. Okay, as you can see, I've gotten them all the way around, and I've added and instead of working my way back, I've stopped on the inner side, and I have added my chain cast on back to the loom. And basically what I'm going to do is a Kitchener bind off, but it's not going to be authentic. It's going to be a mock, so it doesn't show up so much, but you aren't having to do all this weird casting on and everything. So once you have it, what you want to do is you want to send it through like a knit. Okay, now I can actually pull this up closer. So you want to send it through like a knit. Alright, on that bottom stitch. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to send that needle through the top chain like a knit. Then what you want to do is send through the top chain like a purl. You want to send the needle up underneath it. Okay. Alright, then you want to go in and send the needle through the bottom stitch up through the bottom like a purl. Alright, and I'm trying to do this close to the camera so you can see it. You want to send it through like a purl. Alright, and that's kind of the repeat that you're doing. So what you can remember is your knit is on the same peg, and your purl is on 2 different pegs, but it's top and bottom. Alright, so let's go over this again. Now we're moving to the next peg, and you're going to knit. So you're going to send it through like a knit from the top. One side, okay. You send it through like a knit. Then you're going to send it through the top like a knit as well, on the same peg. So your knit is on the same peg, sending it through the top. Okay. And then you're going to do purl on the top So send it through the bottom on the next peg, on the top stitch, the next peg, and then you're going to send it through the bottom stitch on the previous peg. Alright, and you're just going to keep this knit, same peg, purl on the opposite top stitch, purl on the previous peg bottom stitch, and you're just going to continue this patterning all the way across. Okay, and this should give you kind of a mock-up so it's not so obvious that you have a seam, which is always my goal. But you can just bind off and sew the chains together and do a whip stitch if you so desire. Alright, but once you're done, you'll want to go back and you'll want to tighten up. And so what I like to do is start in here and tighten and tighten. And you just keep going back and tightening. Okay. Alright. And when you're done doing your sewing in, and then you tighten all your chains, then you can take the pegs off, the stitches off, and then you're going to weave in your ends, and then you are done. That is how you make the Faux Entrelac wash rag with a 10 stitch border, 10 stitch garter stitch border.